one of the things Publicis Sapient talks about a lot is, okay, what is that holistic approach, right? Where do you start? Where do you find the right value to advance? And how do you start thinking about transformation from that perspective?
And then the last thing we always focus on is what's the approach to getting there? Like what are the steps? We call it a progressive modernization journey.
เช่นเราทำ transformation เรา propose เรื่องของการทำprogressive modernization แปลว่าเราไม่ทำ big bang เช่น
Hello everyone, welcome to CIOWorldBusiness Talk. Today we here with key man that's standing behind to make a digital transformation. First, Tyler Munoz and Ronnie Mitra and Kun Kavi Phap, both from Publicis Sapient and he's from SCB TechX. Digital transformation is coming for many years, right? Behavior change, technology change, and the transfer money change. I want to know about your view that the digital transformation has changed the money industry, financial industry. What is your view for whole world and for especially in Thailand?
First of all, thank you for having us from Publicis Sapient and SCB TechX. We're really excited to talk to you and obviously be at the conference this week and talk about how we see digital transformation and the impact that it's going to bring along, to the lines of a number of legacy banks and a number of other industries in the near future. I think it's probably a very exciting time and a very concerning time to be in financial services right now. You have a wave of disruption that's really coming across the industry, and it's causing a ripple in how CIOs, CTOs, CEOs think about their business, right? Obviously, one part of it is technology, right? The ability for technology and how it's advanced is changing things almost daily, weekly. Especially if you look at ASEAN as a region, right? The scale of technology is advancing very quickly here. But I think, if you look at the CIOs of these legacy banks that are sitting on technology debt, right? They're sitting on years and years of code. They're sitting on, frankly, an aging team that understands how things have been taped or cobbled together. They're sitting on a customer base that's looking for greater flexibility, customer base that's looking for you. The idea where you just used to have a transactional relationship with a bank, you go to a branch, you take money from the teller, has fundamentally changed, right? If you look at the rise of super apps, the rise of different opportunities to engage with that customer are really changing quickly. And that's scaring banks, right? So they're looking internally and saying, okay, we have to transform, but they really don't know where to start. So you have all these different pockets of approaches, and some people are looking at it and saying, okay, I'm going to start with the technology stack. I have to solve that problem. I'm going to start with my data stack. Okay, I'm going to solve that problem first. I'm going to start with my customer side of it, right? I'm going to do that first. But you really have to look at it holistically. And I think, one of the things Publicis Sapient talks about a lot is, okay, what is that holistic approach, right? Where do you start? Where do you find the right value to advance? And how do you start thinking about transformation from that perspective? And again, that's not just a financial services or a banking question. That is, telcos, airlines, all of these companies that are sitting on legacy data, legacy technology, and need to engage with their customers, whether it's in customers or B2B customers differently, they have to start thinking about this and they have to start solving this problem through transformation. And that's where we think Publicis Sapient comes in, and as well in Thailand and the region, our partner SCB TechX.
That is the challenges for banks.
Absolutely. I mean, because I think in that construct, right? If you have those pockets of challenges, one of the key things that's also driving is around product innovation, and you have chief product officers, chief digital officers that want faster product evolution. They want to take some of the legacy products out of the portfolio. They want to be closer to customers. That becomes really important, and they're starting to ask the questions about how can I transform faster? How can I modernize faster? How can I actually reach my customers better? Right, so then you have the data conversation. You have, okay, what am I going to do with this on-premises data? What am I going to do with my data centers? How do I think about cloud? And I think the question is not, okay, I'm not going to do something. Everybody has to do something, but a lot of times for C-level folks that we see, they get paralyzed. They get so scared of making the wrong decision because it is a risky decision. They get paralyzed, so they do nothing at all, right? And then before you know it, you have a neobank, you have a non-traditional bank, say a Grab or an AirAsia, introduce banking products because they have an agile, first culture. They have a cloud-first culture. They're doing all these things and they're outmaneuvering the incumbents. Again, not just in financial services, not just in banks, it's all industries as well. They're facing these questions.
Do Thailand banks facing the same problem like this?
Absolutely. It's a bit urgent because the Bank of Thailand obviously has been talking about the virtual licenses. Obviously that tender is in the process of coming out. You have the news around the digital wallet that's coming out, and I think the government is really doing a lot of things around enabling that in Thailand, and I think Thailand is really leading that space, and I think the legacy banks in Thailand all want to be part of that. The question is going to be, how do their ecosystems evolve? How does their thinking evolve from an engineering, technology, product perspective to enable that and be part of that, right? Will they open up products and services? We've seen, other regions approach it with a banking as a service model. They start to have open environments, the partnership model. So I think, I would say I don't know the answer for Thailand yet. I think it's a wait and see, answer, but I think it's really exciting. I mean, it's one of the reasons why Publicis Sapient has wanted to double down on Thailand, specifically in ASEAN. We feel it is a market that is really going to grow, and I think the customers are demanding, better experiences, and that creates a great opportunity for our transformation offerings. And that's also why we picked, Thailand for our strategic joint venture with SCB TechX. Their capabilities, their experience, their knowledge of this market really mixes very well with us as we go to market together.
Next to the second question, please explain, the step that especially how to translate banks' ambition to actionable transformation plans.
I think the challenge is there's probably about 10,000 actions for a bank to achieve that kind of ambition. But when we help banks, we usually break this into three broad areas, and we say you have to figure these three things out. The first is, what is your business case? So we really help banks understand, how to define the value for the transformation they're doing to achieve the ambition, right? The second thing you really need to nail down is, what is the prioritization here? What's most important? And the answer can't be everything, right? What's most important? Is it the speed of this digital transformation? Is it the safety of it? Or is it the value and money you produce, right? Because each of those paths are slightly different. And then the last thing we always focus on is, what's the approach to getting there? Like, what are the steps? We call it a progressive modernization journey. And that's really one of the keys for our success. How we break that sequencing and priority up into manageable pieces to manage risk and maximize reward.
คำถามเดียวกันในมุมของพี่กวีภาพมีอะไรที่แบบว่ามันเป็นสเต็ปหรือเป็นสิ่งที่ต้องทำที่ทำให้การ transformation มันประสบความสำเร็จ
จะยิงขยายความที่คุณรอนนี่พูดนะครับว่าเวลาเราพูดถึงสเต็ปแรกที่คุณรอนนี่พูดว่า business case ต้องแข็งแรงถูกไหมคือว่าจริงๆเราพูดถึง transformation program ที่เป็นขนาดใหญ่มันต้องการการ buy in จากหลายๆส่วนเช่นจากผู้ใหญ่จาก executive อันนี้ทำยังไงถึงจะได้ business case ที่มันเป็น evidence เพื่อเอามายืนยันว่าสิ่งที่เราจะ transform เนี่ยมันคุ้มค่ากับการที่แบงก์จะลงทุนก็ตัวอย่างเช่นปีที่แล้วเราทำ diagnostic phase ในการทำ transformation project หนึ่งซึ่ง transform core banking system อย่างเงี้ยฮะเพราะฉะนั้นใน process ที่เราทำ business case เนี่ยมันจะลงรายละเอียดเลยว่าเราจะต้องใช้เงินทุนเท่าไหร่ในการที่จะซื้อเทคโนโลยีเข้ามาใช่ไหมครับแล้วก็ implement ในขณะเดียวกันเปรียบเทียบกับคอสของการรันเทคโนโลยีเก่าเนี่ยมันเป็นเท่าไหร่นะครับระยะเวลาในการคืนทุนเป็นเท่าไหร่สเต็ปพวกนี้มันเกี่ยวกับเรื่องความแข็งแรงของข้อมูลที่จะซัพพอร์ตในการใช้ทำ business case เนี่ยครับสุดท้ายแล้วมันพวกนี้มันจะถูกนำเข้ามาประมวลแล้วก็ทำออกมาเป็นข้อมูลซัพพอร์ตให้ผู้บริหารเนี่ยตัดสินใจใช่ไหมครับพอผ่านสเต็ปที่เป็น business case มาคราวนี้มันก็จะเป็นเรื่องของ strategy ละ strategy มันจะแล้วแต่ว่าแต่ละลูกค้าแต่ละ client แต่ละธนาคารต้องการอะไร prioritize เรื่องอะไรเป็นสาเหตุสำคัญครับอย่างตัวอย่างเช่นเราทำ transformation เรา propose เรื่องของการทำprogressive modernization แปลว่าเราไม่ทำ big bang เช่นสมมติวันนี้เรามีระบบ core banking เดิมอยู่ที่ธนาคารเราไม่ได้ทุบทิ้งแล้วก็วันพรุ่งนี้ขึ้นตัวใหม่ถูกไหมครับงั้นเรา progressive ในลักษณะที่ว่าเราดีไซน์ทำยังไงให้เราลงทุนค่อยๆลงทุนเพิ่มขึ้นไปซื้อเทคโนโลยีใหม่ขึ้นมารันคู่กับเทคโนโลยีเดิมแล้วทำให้มันทำงานร่วมกันสอดคล้องกันใช่ไหมครับแล้วถึงสเต็ปหนึ่งเราค่อยถอดเทคโนโลยีเก่าทิ้งไปเหลือแต่เฉพาะเทคโนโลยีใหม่เท่านั้นเนี่ยครับ
ถ้าในมุมมองของลูกค้าเนี่ยในระหว่างที่กำลัง transform อยู่เนี่ยเราจะสร้างความมั่นใจได้ยังไงครับว่าบริการต่างๆมันจะประสบความสำเร็จหรือให้บริการที่ได้อย่างดีที่สุด
หลายส่วนครับคือเราก็จะมีเรื่องของการprogressive change ที่เป็นเทคนิคที่เราทำนะครับคือเราจะทำการออกแบบ architecture เพื่อจะ make sure ว่าเรามี impact กับพวก channel ลูกค้าอะไรให้น้อยที่สุดตัวอย่างเช่นตอนที่เราทำ transformation ตอนนี้เราทำ transformation เกี่ยวกับ core ใช่ไหมครับมันก็คล้ายๆกับว่าเราเปลี่ยนเครื่องยนต์หลักของรถยนต์เนี่ยเป็นเครื่องยนต์โมเดลใหม่ใช่ไหมครับคราวนี้เราพยายามจะทำให้ส่วนที่มันเป็นอินทิเกชันรอบๆมันทำงานได้เหมือนเดิมเพราะฉะนั้นเราสร้างอะแดปเตอร์ขึ้นมาเราสร้างmiddleware layer เราสร้าง data platform layer ขึ้นมาแอปสอบขาพวกนี้จุดหนึ่งที่เรา make sure ว่าทำยังไงที่ลูกค้าจะไม่ impact ก็จะเป็นเรื่องของการที่เราทดลองเราสามารถ progressive modernization โดยการ implement ไอ้ตัว multi core เนี่ยเป็นเพราะว่าเราอยากจะเหมือนกับมีความสามารถในการทดลองก่อนใช่ไหมครับคือเราทดลอง launch product บนเทคโนโลยีใหม่บางส่วนแล้วค่อยๆเพิ่มความเข้มข้นในการ migration ขึ้นไปเพิ่มปริมาณในการ migrate account ต่างๆเข้าไปที่เทคโนโลยีใหม่จนถึงจุดหนึ่งที่เรามั่นใจเรา terminate ระบบเดิมได้นะครับต่างจากapproach ทั่วไปที่ถ้าเป็น approach สมัยก่อนคือสมัยก่อนเนี่ยต้องเรียนอย่างนี้ว่าสมัย20 ปีที่แล้วเวลาคน implement core banking system คนจะทำ big bang approach สมัยนั้นน่ะมันเป็นเพราะว่าเราไม่มี high pressure เกี่ยวกับเรื่องพวก digital journey อะไรมากนักถูกไหมครับเวลาลูกค้าจะใช้งานบริการทางการเงินของธนาคารลูกค้าไปสาขาใช่ไหมครับลูกค้าไม่ได้ใช้งานธนาคารตลอดเวลาแบบโมบายแบงกิ้งแบบทุกวันนี้เพราะฉะนั้นจริงตรงเนี้ยก็จะเป็นอันหนึ่งที่เป็นไดรเวอร์หลักเลยที่ว่าเราตัดสินใจทำ progressive modernization เนี่ยเพราะว่าเรื่องนี้
Similar question with คุณกวีภาพ is about customer approach. You know, when you transforming from old system to new system, how can you make sure that customer receive the best service?
What we have found the hard way is that often when we start those kinds of transformations, inevitably we start improving and then we find out we're limited by something, right? And we're often limited by that engine, that core banking system at the heart of a legacy incumbent bank. And it's difficult because so much of the value and the advantage for the bank is in that core, right? It's not a case where you should throw it away because all of the business policy, the risk management, it's all there. That's their value. So by no means should any incumbent be considering, walk away from what made us successful. We're finding it strategically. The real way to have lasting, high-value customer experience is to swallow the difficult pill and modernize that core because it unlocks phenomenal ability to deliver new kinds of customer experiences. We're seeing a future where if we could unlock that data, we could start to leverage, some of the new AI solutions that are coming out. We could do things with customer data we couldn't before. We could introduce new products to market faster than before. Even really driving product innovation, the scale of products you could develop, highly personalized services. like most tech, it comes down to changing the cost factor. So, we've met so many smart, creative people in banks, and often what they find is they can't execute on those ideas because so expensive, so risky. So what we try and do is help them transform into a banking organization that gives those people the freedom and empowerment to really bring those ideas to life, and we can help them execute that as well, right? So a long way to say, there is an opportunity to fix the engine and really accelerate into new experience if you take that journey.
Back to Tyler, please give me some example that the core modernization in key industry that Publicis Sapient has implemented.
I think we've gone on a transformation journey with a number of different clients and different industries and a number of different geographies. But if I talk about some recent transformation journeys with some large financial services companies, we've really helped to accelerate their transformation in a couple of different ways, right? So as Ronnie talked about, it's really analyzing where to start, right? What are the buckets to begin? You obviously need to start with understanding that business, understanding the business case around that, and then helping them understand how to unpack that and then where to start. Now, once you actually begin that transformation, you really need to focus on that digital first mindset. And that's, again, we've talked a lot about engineering change, core banking products, cloud service providers, but you really need to help them understand kind of this digital mindset. Once you do that, you can bring it all together. So you can start by looking at the customer journeys, right? You can start by looking at the entire front end. You talked about customer experience. How does the user experience, how does the customer experience need to evolve? How does that need to connect then to the onboarding process? How does that need to connect to the customer master? How does that need to connect to the core, the modern core? And all of these laid out together in a holistic way. And I think what that also does is allows them to essentially start to accelerate past their competitors, right? So the banks that Publicis Sapient have worked on in this journey that have been successful actually can start to leapfrog their competitive set and move much faster once they have those basics right. And again, in that agile product thinking mindset. So when we talk about transformation in the example that I gave you, it's really front to back. It's not just engineering. It's not just the thinking internally and how you structure yourself, but it has to be both together, which is where transformation really delivers value to organizations.
If we focus only banking industry in Thailand, what are the key success factors for them?
I think for me personally, it's the ability to make the first step. You can spend years analyzing where to start, what is the least risky first step. You can explore different things, but I think the people that really take advantage of this trend will be the first movers. And look, it is an incredibly risky decision. I mean, you will have C-level individuals who make this decision and it goes wrong possibly. They don't have a job. I mean, this is an existential crisis for some of these people making the decision. So also, as we've talked about with some of the upcoming digital banking licenses, if they don't do it, there will be other digital native companies or thinkers out there that do it first. And then they will always be playing catch up. So now is the opportunity to start to take those first steps, to understand you can start delivering it, where your organization needs to evolve in order to deliver it successfully, and make that decision. Again, I think the paralysis is the real risk. The do nothing approach is not going to work. And I think that's the call to action, I would say, for legacy banks in Thailand at this point.
And next, I think the very important question. What next for Publicis Sapient Thailand this year?
So Publicis Sapient Thailand, we're really excited about 2024. I think we're continuing to work very closely with SCB TechX, our strategic joint venture here, and we're really starting to explore how non-traditional banks are starting to introduce, again, that utility, that financial products to consumers in Thailand. I think the other thing that's really exciting for us is how I would say how ready consumers are for new digital experiences, right? And new ways to engage with brands and customers. We've done a lot of work with Robinhood in this market around the super app, which we're really proud of, and what it did for the riders and small business owners during COVID, and our partnership with the Purple Ventures team to do that. So we expect to see some more of the same. And obviously, we're on a new transformation journey with a big bank here, and hopefully, we'll start to see some of that come to life in the coming year. So excited for that.
ครับนั่นเป็นบทสัมภาษณ์ที่เราได้พูดคุยกับผู้บริหารหรือคีย์แมนคนสำคัญที่อยู่เบื้องหลังความสำเร็จของการทำ Digital Transformation นะครับแล้วพบกันในคลิปต่อไปครับสวัสดีครับ